Welcome, listener, to Tales by the Tavern Fire. Today, you'll hear part 3 of our new story, Best Intentions. If you haven't listened to it yet, you'll find a link to part 1 on the top right and in the story description. Anyway, last we left off, Prina found herself in dire straits. After failing to rescue the chapel to Desna from its debts, she found out that a local entrepreneur, Finnigan Silvervein, offered to relocate the chapel, all on his dime. But Prina found the new location disgusting, an insult to Desna's grace and beauty. She railed against the proposal, hurt and confused by Reylee's and Spirulina's apparent capitulation. She despaired, at least until struck by sudden inspiration during a midnight walk. Spirulina, however, was left in the dark regarding Prina's plots, at least until the town magistrate, Adagre came for a late-night visit, delivering the news that Prina had been arrested on charges of theft. And it's here we'll pick up, with dusk draping the surrounding forest in an ominous silence. As soon as Adagre left, Spirulina gathered her things and rushed over to the jail to get the full story from her sister, trying to remind herself the whole way that Prina would never do something so selfish. But she wouldn't be the only visitor Prina had that night, for even as Adagre and Spirulina spoke, Prina would be about to meet another visitor.
Prina?
Reylee?
I heard you were being kept here.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about what happened?
I was just trying to help.
I know.
No, but I didn't do anything wrong.
You're saying you didn't steal the necklace?
No!
Oh, good. But then why did
There
you—
I was, selling my necklace, which I found as a kid to try and get money to pay off the chapel's loan. And then, when I'm on my way home, Tolfoy over there. Yeah, you! You better hope I don't get out of here or I'll smack you silly! Anyway, Tolfoy comes up and arrests me, of all people, for stealing a necklace that was my rightful property. He said it belonged to Finnigan, as if anyone in his family had the good taste for such a nice necklace. Then he stole my money that I was going to give to the chapel, and he hauled me here.
Oh, Prina, that's awful.
I know, I never steal. I'm a good gnome. I didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, Prina, I know. I'm sorry, but—
But what?
It's just— Finnigan's currently doing a lot to help us out, and, well, this puts things kind of in an awkward situation.
Well, it's his fault.
I know. It's just— there's no way you could smooth this out with him?
You too?
He seems like a good man, and—
Ha!
Well, I'm just saying— and you're sure it was your necklace? I mean, you didn't get it confused or anything?
Of course I didn't! Why would you say something like that?
And you didn't, get it mixed up or anything?
I had it buried behind a tree because my mother told me to keep it safe, and so I did.
Oh, you know.
No, I don't know. Please enlighten me.
Oh, sorry. Never mind.
You're damn right.
Sorry. I know I should be more supportive. This must be hard.
This doesn't even begin to describe it. Accused of stealing my own necklace. It's ridiculous.
Right. And it was all to help the chapel, too.
Of course. I care about it. And I care about you.
I know. I'll go to talk to Finnigan. He's been reasonable when we've talked in the past, and I'm sure he'll realize this is all just a misunderstanding.
Doubt it, considering how stupid and ugly his face is.
Anyway, I'll see you later, Prina.
Yeah, and don't forget to tell him about his stupid and his ugly face.
A few minutes later, the next visitor arrived.
Spiri, you came!
Of course I came. I came as soon as I heard.
The two embraced as best they could with the bars between them.
Oh, I was so worried when I heard what happened. And when you ran off like that last night, I was so glad to see you're safe.
Of course. You know nothing can hurt me.
Of course, but I guess my first question is, what happened?
Prina briefly recapped the events leading up to her arrest.
So, Finnigan falsely accused you for selling that necklace?
Yeah, he accused me of breaking into Finnigan's house to get the necklace, but I've had it since I was a kid. You remember how I found it washed up on the shore all those years ago?
Yeah, you found it. And then after you tried to find its owner, Mom said you could keep it. And it turned to be worth a lot, right?
Yeah, and Mom told me to keep it safe, and that's what I did, so I buried it behind that tree.
Right. But then why did Finnigan think it was his?
I don't know. He's a liar and stupid, that's why.
Surely he must be mistaken.
Right. I mean, why would someone just go and accuse someone of stealing something like that? It's not like I did anything wrong.
Well, you didn't break into his house, right?
No, not saying I didn't think about it, but I never do that. I'm good.
I know you are, Prina.
He pisses off so many people. I swear, every third day he's in a trial with Mr. Bagalum about someone else who's mad at him. It was probably one of them.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Right? I mean, he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, although maybe don't say that tomorrow.
But it's true.
I know, and I'm sure everyone else knows that too. But it's not proper.
Fine. You know, you always were no fun.
Well, that's because you stole all the fun from me.
And so the two talked and chatted well into the night about the trial, about the necklace, and about other things. Prina asked about Puddlefoot. Spirulina gossiped about some cute gnomish boys she had met at the bar a few days ago, and before long, it was time to leave. Prina thought that was it. She had been visited by Spirulina, Reylee, and several other people close to her. But she had one more visitor, who came just as the guard was getting ready to call it a night.
Excuse me, Mr. Tolfoy. Do you mind if I step inside for a minute? Yeah, fine. Just make it quick.
Ah, just who I wanted to see. Prina.
What do you want?
Oh, well, I wanted to talk to you before the trial tomorrow.
What about? How you realized you're stupid and you're going to apologize for being so stupid and also wrong?
No, not that sorry.
Then what?
It's just, I had a bit of a proposition, you see.
And what's that?
Well, this all seems like a big misunderstanding.
You're damn right it is.
I mean, I know you probably meant for the best when you broke into my home.
But I didn't break into your home.
And stole my heirloom necklace.
It wasn't your necklace.
And, well, I know your heart is in the right place, Prina. Just wanting to support the chapel that's dear to all of us here in Whistledown.
And you're ruining it.
And I just want to set things right. See, I chatted with Reylee and she told me all about how you were just trying to scrape together money to pay off the chapel's debts.
To save it.
And, well, the location that the chapel sits on now is very important to me. I want to build a mill there to help revitalize the area.
It doesn't need revitalizing. I live there. It's great.
And with it, we can bring so much to the local economy. Jobs, productivity, investment.
It's fine just the way it is. It's blessed by Desna.
But with the chapel there, none of that can happen.
Good.
So, here is my proposal. You don't need to answer now, but if you agree to stop trying to pay off the chapel's debts, I'll drop this case. You'll get out of here, get your money back, and we don't need to have a trial. I'll still keep my word with Reylee and help move the chapel to its new home on the hill, and we can all be happy.
You really think that's what all this is about? My money? This is about saving the chapel and keeping Desna's home in the place that honors her and saving something important to me and to my family and to this entire town. That's That's what this is about.
I didn't
No,
mean...
you know what? I don't need to wait. The answer is no. Now, get out.
I just...
Hey, Tolfoy, Finnigan's showing me his wiener. Make him stop.
I'm doing nothing of the sort.
Well, there's definitely a big dick in front of me.
Fine. I'll leave. Just know that the offer stands, and I suggest you take it. Things might not go so well if you don't.
Yeah, you better run.
And with that, Prina's eventful night was over. She got sleep, though it wasn't high in quality or quantity, and before long, the sun rose high into the sky. She got a reasonable breakfast from Tolfoy, and cleaned up as best as she could while she waited for the trial. It felt like an eternity, especially for a young gnome with nothing to do, but eventually Prina was led out of her cell and into the town square where Adagre, Finnigan, Reylee, and many others were waiting, with one curious absence.
Mr. Bagalom, do you know where Spirulina is?
No, sorry. I saw her yesterday evening.
Reylee, do you know?
Reylee shook her head quietly.
Sorry, but one of my contacts has informed me that Spirulina will be unable to make the proceedings today.
Oh, why is that? She wouldn't miss something like this for the world.
Yes. Well, apparently she's become quite ill.
What? Well, then I have to go see her then.
Sorry, Prina, but we must resolve this before I can allow you to leave.
But my sister's sick. You have to let me go see her right away.
Sorry. I realize this is inconvenient. I will ensure we finish this as quickly as possible.
But
Prina, you are on very thin ice. The accusations against you are serious and, unfortunately, credible. Now, I will send one of the town guard to ensure your sister is safe and not in critical condition. But we cannot delay these proceedings any longer. Once they are over, I will allow you to return to your sister. Is this acceptable?
okay, fine. More like butt-alone.
Anyway, today we gather to address the complaint from Finnigan Silvervein against Prina Springwhistle. Mr. Silvervein, would the aggrieved present their case?
Of course. Yesterday, I found out about a transaction between Prina and a third party to sell a necklace. Recently, there was a break-in to my house, where the only thing missing was a very expensive heirloom necklace which had been passed down on my mother's side for generations. Upon inquiring into the transaction, I found out that the necklace I had lost and the necklace she had sold were one and the same. As part of compensation for this crime, I asked for full payment of the sale price of the necklace. 5,000 gold, or the necklace itself. I also need 200 additional gold for repairs to my home after the forced entry.
Very well. Prina, your defense?
I didn't do it, Your Honor. That necklace is mine. I found it when I was a child, and I was told to hold on to it for safekeeping by my mom. And so I did, and I buried it behind a tree, and I kept it until I needed the money to save Dustin's chapel, and then I sold it. Everything Finnigan is saying is a lie. A complete lie.
These are pretty severe accusations. Prina, you're being accused of grand larceny, and Finnigan, you're being accused of perjury. I hope we can come to a resolution satisfactory to all parties, but first, Finnigan, do you have any evidence to support your claim?
But what about me?
You'll get your say. We'll let the prosecution present their case first, then move on to the defense. You'll be allowed to cross-examine any witnesses after they're finished testifying.
Thank you, Your Honor. Indeed. I have several witnesses to call to the stand. First, my butler, Jeremy Ferrovile.
And so, Finnigan ran through several people for his witnesses. Each told a similar story. Of Prina plotting to steal from Finnigan, the wealthy businessman. Of Prina breaking into his house. Of Prina stealing something to hit Finnigan where it hurt. Of Prina selling it for a fraction of what it was worth out of spite. After each told their tale, Prina unleashed a torrent of questions back at the corroborators.
What? Of course you would say that. You're a drunk who's in an argument every other week. Why is this person being trusted as a witness? Hey dude, this is your problem, not mine, and I don't know why you're bringing it here.
But Finnigan saved the worst for last. For the last person to take the stand would shock the crowd, provide near indisputable evidence of Prina's guilt, and shake her to her very core.
Thank you, Mrs. Fairweather, for your testimony, and I thank you all for your patience. For my last witness, I call forth Reylee Corvassa to the stand.
Order! Miss Corvassa, can you please come to the stand?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is great. She'll definitely tell the truth. Finnigan won't even know what's coming.
Miss Corvassa, I have several questions for you regarding your previous conversations with Prina Springwhistle.
Yes.
First, can you tell me about the conversations you had with Miss Springwhistle regarding your chapel and the necklace?
Yes. Of course. You see, the chapel's been having some financial trouble lately, and Prina offered to help us out financially, which was really brave of her, and I really appreciate the help, and she was super thoughtful of her.
Please stick to the question.
Yes. Sorry. Anyway, she mentioned she knew of this easy mark in town, so Rich he wouldn't even notice if something valuable went missing.
What? Reylee, I never said that.
Sorry, Prina.
Prina, you will have your chance to speak. Reylee, you're sure your testimony so far is accurate?
Yes.
Okay, please continue.
So she said she knew of an easy mark to steal from. And how did you respond?
Well, I didn't approve at all. I wouldn't want somebody doing something like that for me.
Right, and did she tell you who this mark was?
Yes.
Can you identify them if they are here?
It was you, Mr. Silvervein.
Right. And what happened next?
Well, I told her not to steal from you, of course. But then she ran off anyway, and, she showed up the next day and showed me the necklace.
And what did you do then?
I told her she shouldn't have. I told her to put it back.
And then?
She said she found a buyer. That she'd sell it for a fraction of what it was worth. Just to stick it to you, Mr. Silvervein.
Reylee, what are you talking about? I didn't say anything like that at
Miss
all.
Springwhistle, I will not warn you again. Please wait until you are called upon to speak. Sorry, Mr. Silvervein. Please continue with your line of questioning.
Very well. Although I am nearly done. Miss Corvassa, did you have anything else you wanted to add to your testimony? Like, for instance, if you saw anything the night after you spoke with Prina about the necklace?
Right. Of course. That night, I went to go find her to make sure she wasn't going to follow through with her plan. But while I was walking toward her house, I walked by your estate, Mr. Silvervein.
And what did you see?
I saw Prina coming out of the house through an open window with a necklace in her hand.
Very well. No more questions.
I'm sorry, Prina.
Very well. Miss Springwhistle, your witness.
How could you, Reylee? Why would you? I thought we were friends.
I'm sorry, Prina, but
I'm not seeing how this is pertinent to the case. Reylee?
Yes, please stick to the questions relevant to the case.
What about the conversations we actually had? I sold my precious necklace for you, for Desna, for the chapel.
I'm sorry. No.
What's this?
It's nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. Anyway, do you have any further questions?
No, I don't.
Very well. Miss Springwhistle, do you have anything to say in your defense?
I don't know what's going on. All of you today got on the stand and said so many things, so many untrue things, and none of it's real. None of it happened. And Reylee, why would you go along with something like that? I thought you were on my side. I thought we were on the same side. Anyway, I don't know how to defend myself. Finnigan has all these people saying all these untrue things, and I can't even go see my sick sister, so fine, whatever, I give up. Take my money, take my necklace, take my time, just let me be, just leave me alone.
Okay then. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Well, I have no choice but to rule in favor of Mr. Silvervein. Miss Springwhistle, we've already seized the sale price of the necklace, so that part of your sentence is covered. In addition, you will pay Mr. Silvervein 200 gold for repairs to his house.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And with that, this session is adjourned.
And so, the crowd began to disperse. But before Finnigan could leave, Prina broke into a rage. Prina rushed forward, catching everyone off guard. She pulled the sword from Tolfoy's belt and took a swing at an unsuspecting Finnigan, before her blade bounced off of Adagre's, who stepped in at the very last moment.
What? What's the meaning of this?
You took everything from me. You took my friends, my chapel, everything.
I'm sorry I have to do this, but after that, I have no choice but to banish you from Whistledown. Tolfoy, please gather her belongings and escort her out of the town. I'll keep an eye on her in the meantime.
Serves you right, you crazy woman.
But Spirulina.
And with that, Prina Springwhistle began her new life. Her life as Prina Springfuse. She found herself on the outskirts of town, the only town she had known up until this point in her life, with her clothing, a pack, puddlefoot, and only a few copper to her name. It wasn't long, though, before a figure caught up to her.
Prina, wait up!
What do you want?
I just wanted to apologize and let you know why I did what I did.
Lied? Stabbed me in the back?
I just...
You know what? I don't care. Go away.
But Finnigan, you told me he'd cancel the deal if I didn't testify, that you were going to lose anyway, and well...
There's no reason to lie like that. To say something so mean. I tried so hard to save the chapel, to save you. And then when I needed the same from you, you abandoned me.
The chapel didn't need saving.
Ha!
And just... why didn't you take Finnigan's offer when you had the chance?
That toad? I'd sooner eat my own toe than lick that man's boot, because I have an ounce of integrity, and I guess I thought you did too.
But Prina...
No, you know what? I never want to talk to you or even see you again. Goodbye, Reylee. Goodbye.
And, indeed, Prina would get her wish. The two would never speak again. Shortly after the trial, Reylee lost the voice of Desna completely. She'd go searching to speak with her god again, but through the years, she'd never find that same connection. Before long, her ability to heal wounds or augur the future faded. She began traveling, but found the road difficult and unforgiving. and she wandered for many years, looking unsuccessfully to recapture that sense of meaning and home she had found for herself during her years in Whistledown. Spirulina, meanwhile, recovered after several days of a high fever. Her sickness came suddenly and left almost as fast. Whispers spread throughout Whistledown that some foul play took place, but none could prove anything. For her own part, Spirulina sent an apologetic letter to Prina by post as soon as she had the strength, starting a correspondence that would keep up, off and on, for years to come. As for Prina, well, you just heard her backstory she'd carry into her life as an adventurer, journeying through the Pathfinder campaign inspiring the story. After traveling for some time, she would stumble onto the raids in Sandpoint, taking her on a journey spanning Varisia, bringing her through the treacherous goblin stronghold at Thistletop before leading her to investigate the string of murders that plagued the Varisian coast, even while forming strong bonds with her new companions and their friends and family. After a tumultuous few years, she'd settled down with the cute town guard she had adventured with for so long, finally recapturing that sense of quiet and home she had lost so long ago. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our tale. Through adversity, we find growth. Through pain, we find strength. Through loss, we find room for something new. And as Prina lost something precious to her here, she'd find a passion and purpose she might never have encountered had fate not pushed her out into the wider world, even if it meant betrayal from those closest to her as they acted on their own best intentions. Anyway, that's it for this tale. I hope you enjoyed it. This story was inspired by a Pathfinder campaign of Rise of the Rune Lords, written by Paizo, and takes place in the game's campaign setting of Golarion. Please like and subscribe to get notified about future productions. I'll be hard at work behind the scenes putting together our next set of stories for you all to hear. But that is all we have for you today. In the meantime, don't forget to keep cozy while staying tuned for more Tales by the Tavern Fire. So long for now.